Hello and welcome back everyone to a new tutorial series that I'm gonna start making. It's from a request from a few people in the comments that wanted me to do a For Honor combat system, and that actually seems very fun, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. It does not mean that the other tutorial series is finished. It's just gonna be a nice little break. Of course, it's gonna be multiplayer, so it's gonna be replicated everything, since For Honor is a multiplayer game. And yeah, also I have 98 subscribers now, which is pretty cool. So almost 100. So if you aren't already subscribing, make sure to subscribe, because it makes me happy. Also, Gustav in the background as always. And yeah, let's get into it. So basically this is a normal third-person template, nothing weird with this one going on. So we're gonna do this from scratch, and so yeah, you can just do it with me basically. The first thing that we are gonna do is we are gonna update the animations, because I don't like these standard animations. So we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into our third-person character animation blueprint, and this is the start. So the only thing I did, this is the only thing I've already done, is on the begin play of my animation blueprint. Okay, I've done two things. The first thing that I have done is I have gone here into our blueprints folder, and I have renamed my character to player third-person character, just because later when we import stuff, it's gonna be nice to differentiate them. Also, if you go into your player third-person characters, click the mesh, go into your player third-person NMVP, search it, and rename it to player third-person NMVP. So we can differentiate the animation blueprint as well. And then in my animation blueprint, I like to start by grabbing a reference to the player character. So just begin play. And from begin play, you get the play controller, get controlled pawn, cast to player third-person character, which is the one we just renamed, right click on the blue node and promote it to variable, which we call the player. So now we have a reference to our player as well. Great. Now we need some animations, some new animations. So import your animations. I have a few ones. I think I am gonna use these ones. Mannequin in place, I think. Run. Do I have an unarmed? I have to have an unarmed, right? Unequip, run, that sounds nice. And we are gonna, exactly. So what I did was I also deleted the skeletons to all my imported animations, so that I can assign it to my player third-person character. So what I also need to do is I need to go into my player third-person character blueprint, which is this one, and I think we have here the starter mannequin folder, character, mesh, and we have our skeleton that we're going to be using. I'm going to do the same thing here, rename it to player, and just rename all of these to player, just so we know. The physics doesn't really matter, I think, but it's just going to be nice for us to know. Awesome. So that's the first part. And now, if we go back to our animations, I'm just gonna go ahead and select all of these. So these are my animations for, let's see, my root motion. Do I need the root motion ones? No, I'm just gonna reassign all the animations to my character. So right click on them, retarget skeleton on existing animation assets, and we're gonna find our player, mannequin skeleton. This one is here, and we're just gonna retarget. Perfect. And we're gonna open one of them just to make sure it looks alright. Sometimes it gets messed up, but it seems alright now. Perfect. So that's gonna be our run animation when we don't have our weapon equipped. So we go into our anim graph, default state machine. We have our idle run going in here, and we're gonna type in run, and we are gonna get our unequipped run. So it's gonna be this one. Is the speed only 375? Unequipped run. Perfect. So there we have swapped out our run. So that's nice. Also, what I definitely gonna do is we're not gonna be using a ugly mannequin character. We're easily gonna do a cooler For Honor style stuff, so we're gonna switch it out. I have this knight model that I'm gonna use. This one I think is cool, so I'm gonna just skeleton. I'm just gonna assign my player, and then we're gonna save all, and we're gonna use SK Gothic Knight WV8. We're just gonna drag him in like that, and there we go. Now we have a cooler knight, way better. Also, the cloak looks really weird, but fuck it. At least we're cooler now. Perfect. So now we need to add a. What do we need to do? This looks alright. Yeah, idle animation is fine for now, and we are running a little bit cooler. So let's add the combat state to our character as well. So if you go into your animation graph, default machine, and we're gonna need our combat state. Now, if I remember correctly, you aren't supposed to be able to jump in For Honor while in combat, but yeah, let's just do a new state called combat. And this one is gonna be where we transition to the different left, right, top animations. So we're gonna start by going there, and here. And before we do this state, we're gonna go into our player character, and just to keep it simple for now, we're gonna do a custom event called server combat mode. And we're gonna do another custom event called server normal mode. Sorry, I can't zoom in anymore, and I'm not sure about the quality, but you should be able to see. There are a couple of ways to do this. I'm just gonna keep using multicasts because I like them. People don't like me for using multicasts, but it works and it's fine. Perhaps we should avoid it. Okay, let's not do multicasts. Let's do like this. Create a new variable called combat mode. And obviously this is gonna be controlled by the lock-on system later, but I'm just gonna do it like this for now. So yeah, it's fine. So when we are in combat mode, we are gonna, actually we don't even need to do that. Why do we have two? Server combat mode, question mark. So one event called server combat mode, we're gonna run it on server and it's gonna be reliable. From there we're gonna grab our combat mode, we're gonna set combat mode, and we're just gonna drag it back there. Perfect. So we're just gonna use our right mouse button for now. When we press it, we're gonna call server combat mode. It's gonna be true, and when we release it, it's gonna be false. And also make sure that your variable combat mode is replicated as well, because we're not multicasting it, so we need it to be replicated and switched on the server for it to be, if it's gonna be replicated to the clients and so on. So, and what we're also gonna do is yeah, that's fine. We're also gonna need to make a new yep. We're also gonna need to make a new animation. What's it called? This blend space. So I'm not sure, there might already be one here. Let me just check. That we cannot use. Oh, let's just do a new one. I'm gonna create a new folder called animations anim pp. Not sure why I did like that. Animation blend space. It's not gonna be a 1D. It's gonna be a 2D normal, and we're gonna use our player, and we're gonna rename it combat mode. Actually, BS for blend space combat mode. And for this one, we're gonna use, yeah. And for this one, we're gonna use, do we have a guard? Yeah, look at that, pretty amazing. We actually do have guard animations, so this is nice. So we're gonna use the guard front, and guard walk back, and guard walk right, and guard walk left. So here we can see we are guarding. So this is going to be our standard animation, and this is actually really good because we even have the front right, back left, and back front. And I'm gonna go ahead and drag them all the way back as well. Back left, front right, back front. Perfect. That should be good. Maybe not. This one looks weird. Yeah, we'll get to that later. So now in here, for the combat mode, we're gonna choose our combat mode. So this is the blend space we just made. Drag it out. And we're gonna need some variables to plug in here later. Go back into it, and if let's see, this is gonna be speed right and speed forward. Yeah, Perfect. Let me just get 1 second. I'm just gonna check one thing. Perfect. And yeah. So what we need to do now is we're gonna do the transition between the two states. So in our event graph, since we have our player reference here, when we update our animation, we're gonna check. This might not be the optimal way to do it, to be honest, because we are checking. Multicasts might be better because then we're only gonna set the different states once. Now we're gonna update every time the animation updates. We're gonna change the variables, which might be stupid in the long run. Because it might slow. I'm not sure, to be honest. I haven't done like any network testing on it. I'm doing it this way and it's working. So, and I haven't found any weird problems with it so far. So just get the player and grab combat mode. Get combat mode. Promote it to a variable here as well. All combat mode. And we're just gonna set the combat mode. So which means that whenever the combat mode is changed here, it's also gonna be changed here. So that means that we can go back into our transition, and when combat mode is true, we're gonna do this one. We're gonna transition to combat, and when we are not in combat mode, we're gonna transition back. Perfect. So let's just see if it works. As you can see, it's working. Normal run. Not normal run. This is because I haven't added the speed variables, but you can see that we are switching animations. Also, let's check if it's replicating. Just get lots of errors for some reason. Not good. I guess I need to do it this way. New editor window. We have this one and this one. What's this? Okay, I'm not sure why this is giving me errors. It's calling this one too much. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna figure that one out later. Let's just see if it's replicating. And it's not. Actually, this is super weird. Actually, it's not that weird. So the same variables are controlling both of them. Sweet. Let's go back into a player controller. It's probably because of this one. Let's not do it like this. Let's actually let's do it like this instead. Let's see if that works better. Try get pawn owner, cast that one, and then so we have the server. So now it's working better. And the client also replicate. Awesome. So now it's working. Still some errors for some reason. Not entirely sure why, to be honest. Graph, it's going. Maybe I need to do an is valid. Should always be valid, but let's try if this gives us errors. Yeah, okay, no errors, so that's fine. Perfect. So we just need to check if the player is valid before we update this one. So it started to update before we this function had been finished, which created a few errors at the start of the game. So now it's fine. This is gonna be a long video. Let me set up. Let me just check one more thing, because I always forget one calculation. So give me one more second. Sorry about that. Preparing this. I'm just gonna copy everything over from here real quick. Actually, this is gonna be later. Perfect. And we're gonna set this. We're already setting the speed. I'm gonna go this through with you very soon. Like that. Perfect. So I always forget how to do this, so it's easier to do it like this. So from the player, get the character movement, and the same here, I guess. Actually, we should do this afterwards, because otherwise we're gonna get errors here as well. So if the player is valid, we are gonna set the variables. Otherwise, we're not gonna set the variables. So grab your player and your character movement components from the player. I hope you're seeing this now. I'm just gonna check. Yep. And from there, get your current acceleration. This one is not needed. Sorry about that. This one is for another thing, actually, so you don't need that. That should be it. So from the player, get your right vector and your forward vector and your velocity. So from the right vector and the velocity, dot product, and then just promote a variable called speed right. And then from the forward vector, and you get velocity, same thing, dot product, and then set speed. Actually, the function you're doing for speed from the start is fine as well. I just do it like this, and that should be fine. Now if we go into our animation blueprint again, or our animation graph, I mean, go to combat, and here we are gonna plug in speed right, and we're gonna plug in speed forward speed, and we're gonna see if it's working. It's not working, and the reason it's not working is because we need to so that's probably working. We just need to set the rotation of the character, because the template is always moving in the direction of the controller and against the camera. But when we go in this, we want to be able to strafe and things like that. So go into your player, and I also always forget this, so let's just do like this. I believe it's character movement. Okay, yeah. I think it's this one, and then it's gonna be orient rotation to movement. So I'm just gonna try here a little bit orient rotation to movement. Okay, yeah, there we go. So it's this one. So when we are in combat mode, we are not gonna orient rotation to movement. Oh wait. Yeah, exactly. And when we are in we're not in combat mode, we're gonna orient rotation to movement. So it might work right now. Yeah, there we go. As you can see, we are sidestepping, but we are not using the controller yaw, and we are not. We need to be able to turn around, and I think that's what the yaw is for. So let's just test that. Orange rotation motion. Use controller desired rotation. It's gonna be true in combat mode. And it's gonna be false in normal mode. There we go. Now we can see we are turning. Perfect. So we are strafing and not strafing. So when I right click now, I am strafing, and when I'm not right clicking, I am not strafing. So the combat mode is going to be our lock on system later, so we are probably not gonna, yeah, so we're always gonna focus our rotation like this towards our target, and yeah. So let me just check if that's replicating as well. Might not be, to be honest. It is, okay, nice. It's replicating on the server. And let's see on the client. It is replicating as well. No, okay, it's not even working on the client. It's replicating on the client, but it's not working on the client. So probably it is executing on server, so probably we need to throw in this one as well. And we need to feed it through like this. Let's see about the client as well. Still not working. Let's see if that's the issue. This replicates. It's running on server. Ah, I know why. So we are not setting it on the client, so that's why. So just go back and remove this one. So we're not doing that unnecessarily. You don't even need to do it like this. That's unnecessary as well. So we're just gonna remove that one. So what we're gonna do is, because as you can see, it's working on the server, it's not working on the client. So that's because we're only setting this on the server and we're not setting it on the client. So we need to do like this and actually set it on the client as well, which is annoying, to be honest. Or we could multicast it, so we cast to all clients, which also is an option. So now we are going to do orient rotation to movement, control desired rotation, control desired rotation. Perfect. Working on the server and working on the client. Perfect. We can see that it's a bit janky. There's one more thing we're gonna do. We're gonna set the movement speed. So or probably, yeah, you could have do this a little bit nicer, but I'm just gonna go ahead and leave now. And set max walk speed. Set max walk speed, and we're gonna pull that through as well. And when we are in combat mode, we are gonna do 250, and when we are not in combat mode, we are gonna do 500, because I think 600 is a little bit much, which is the standard one. Max walk speed, and we're gonna lower this one to 500 as well, not 5,000, 500, and perfect. And did I set it to 0? 500. Ah, yeah. And 250 there, and 500 there. So let's see if everything's working. Now we are running. It feels slow all of a sudden, so yeah, 600 might have been a good option. And it's way slower with 250. Maybe 250 is a little bit too slow. But yeah, I think it's fine for now. But this was definitely too slow, so let's do 600 again. And go back. So yeah, that's working, and now we can run as well. And yeah, it looks good. So yeah, I don't remember For Honor, to be honest. Maybe you're not able to run against the camera in For Honor. I don't remember, but I'm gonna do that for now. Anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it for video 1. I'll probably do video 2 pretty soon as well. So yeah, just let me know if you have any questions so far in the comments, and in the next video we're probably gonna start doing these stances, the different stances. So yeah, anyway, bye.